Grant. I know Johan's with us, and I know very personally because despite my best laid plans, per usual, within 5 minutes of getting here, my pants were dirty and I was changing shirts in a freezing parking lot. That was very typical of my life with Yo. I wanted to read a letter I got from a close personal friend of ours through high school, Tara Mason Ward. And she says many things, but I thought very poignantly to start. I hold wonderful memories of Johan and of the good times we spent together back in Nepean. I remember being so proud to share the stage with him in grade 10 when we won the Male and Female Athletes of the Year awards. He had such a love and a talent for sports. He made it seem easy and showed what was possible, while I struggled away to improve in track and field, volleyball, and basketball. Johan made it seem easy no matter what he did, and he did so much. He was a larger-than-life person, and I've had a lot of time to think about, over the last few months, what it was in him that made us all in his presence feel like we were around somebody that was just living life at full throttle and past. And I don't remember much from high school English. I do remember a little bit from Julius Caesar, and there was a one saying only, and it was when Cassius and Brutus are standing as Julius Caesar goes by, shining in light, and they say, "Why, man, he doth bestride the narrow world like a colossus." And that gives a big feeling of how you're around Johan. You just felt, even though I am taller, he felt bigger. Why? Why is that? Why is he like that? I don't know that parents, that we inherit personality traits from our parents. I think that's a lot to say. But I think it's probably fair to say we're often forewarned from our ancestors as to what's coming. I know Johan shared with our mother a ferociously huge heart that went out to everybody. And he was unwilling to accept people needing or being in situations that were not as good as they could possibly be if he could do anything about it, and he often felt he could, and so he did. I know he shared with our grandmother, Mema, ferocious, intense passion to change the world and not to accept no, or that's because that's the way it is, ever. There was an endless font of energy for change, and change for the better. And I know he shared with our father, who's also passed away, an incredible clarity about the world and people as it is. So many of us, to a greater extent, live our illusions and have our delusions about what the world is like, what people are like, what we want them to be like, what we want things to be like, why they're like that. Johan, more than most people, had such a great clarity about where things were, who people were, and still accepted them as they were, including himself. He wasn't a whiner, he didn't complain, he didn't brag. You just felt when Johan was doing things, he was there, and he knew it, and he knew who he was. So, that makes an incredibly powerful person, someone who sees the world as it is, knows who they are, accepts themselves, accepts the world, but also challenges themselves every day to change it for themselves and for those around them that they love, and for many that he hardly knew. Without balking, without qualm, all of the stories that we hear from people all echo those character traits, all echo that incredible capacity to accept people as they are, to accept the world as it is, and then to apply an incredible amount of energy to change that for the better. I've dealt with this because I've had to deal with our father passing away. And while his voice in my ear stilled over the years, his voice in my heart got stronger. And it's going to be the same for you. And I know what he's saying. He's saying, work harder at seeing the world as it is and people as they are. Look at who you are and accept yourself. And then spend every day making both of those better.
Welcome, everybody. I'm very happy to see so many people here. It does a lot for me. It's powerful, and it helped me get through some difficult times, just to have you all here. So I appreciate some people have come from distance, and other people it's just a walk down the block, but it's a meaningful one. So Thank you very much. I have a few sort of wild adventure memories of Johan. It's hard to go through 40 plus years of life with him without those. And certainly some of my times have felt like a little brother in the shadow of the golden boy. That can be good and bad. The golden boy has confidence and he teaches you confidence. And he always includes you. So that's good. Sometimes it can be tough because he's the guy getting the attention and he's doing the wild and crazy stuff, whereas I'm just plodding along behind. But in a lot of circumstances, there were important lessons that I could gain from an older brother, which is, I think, part of what older brothers do for younger brothers. Teach them about the world. So when people, and there are a few of those out there in the world who don't appreciate somebody who's sort of confident and just walks along through life with some joy in their heart, they try to drag him down. So I have run down the back streets of Dakar to escape pickpockets with Johan. I have climbed out a ladder out of his bedroom window at a university because a jealous big football boyfriend was angry about a date with his ex-girlfriend. Even right here at the Ralston Rink, blocks away, the Reds played hippie hockey at lunch one day, and there was a guy throwing elbows and mouthing off at Johan. And his solution was just walk away. Don't give the guy pleasure of getting to you. You know? You can keep going with your life and enjoy participating. And people who want to drag you down into the nasty stuff, you can get past it. You don't have to be frightened of it, you just have to realize it's out there and deal with it when it comes along. So I appreciate that lesson that he's taught me. Most of my memories of Johan are not the wild and crazy things. You know, yeah, we jumped off that balcony in Quebec City that was 3 stories high into a snowbank, but that's, you know, it's hard to forget, but it's, most of my memories are from age 6 to age 12. We were in the same grade. We were in the same class, and a little bit like twins. Just said, I'll be okay. And our roads branched later on when we got into teenage and high school, but during that time, we played with the kids in the neighborhood. Lots of them younger, lots of them invented games. We loved that. But I just need to share with you that my strongest sort of one-on-one memory was those years spent as a lot of kids out here in the audience. You know, 5 to 15 years old, still discovering the world, and we just played football, hockey, board games, anything together. And I'd say 90% of the time he'd play with me, which is a pretty good deal, really. 10% of the time he was too tired because it was, you know, we'd been playing outside for 2 hours in the backyard rink. And I was always Trechak. For the hockey players out there, I was Trechak. So if you guys think that Canada-Russia Summit Series, it was important. I was Trechak, I was the play-by-play man. Johan had the moves and kept scoring. But I didn't mind being Trechak because I got to do the play-by-play. But we went down to the park, the local green space, and we literally played football, 2 teams against each other. There was only 2 of us. We were on the same team. We wrote up plays, you know, 2nd and 3, okay, you do a hook over here, and we got 7 yards, we got a first down, you know, we call penalties, the whole works. Like, it was game on, and I think that's an expression, you know, that's valid for Johan. He wanted to include people as participants in the game. So even though, as Tara mentions, the awards came later, and certainly he could compete with any athlete, the emphasis on participation has always been there. I think other people will speak to that. So, yeah, I love you, Johan, and thank you for all the memories. Thank you.